Chaos erupted on SmackDown. The Wyatt Sicks emerged from the shadows to help Damian Priest take down Solo Sikoa in a match no one saw coming. Dark forces collided with tribal power, and the fallout is going to shake WWE to its core. You do not want to miss this breakdown. Welcome back to Suplex Rumble, the #1 destination for the most in-depth wrestling breakdowns on YouTube. I'm your host, and if you're not already subscribed, hit that button right now and turn on notifications because we're covering the wildest stories in sports entertainment. Last night on SmackDown, January 16, 2026, we witnessed something absolutely unprecedented. The Wyatt Sicks, one of the most mysterious and unpredictable groups in WWE, made a statement that nobody saw coming by inserting themselves into a heated rivalry between Damian Priest and Solo Sikoa. This wasn't just a random interference. This was calculated. This was meaningful. And the implications for SmackDown's landscape are absolutely massive. Before we dive into the match itself and that shocking finish, we need to set the stage. We need to understand the players involved, the stakes, and why this moment matters so much. So let's break down everything that led to one of the most talked about moments of 2026. Damian Priest, the punishment. First, let's talk about Damian Priest. The Archer of Infamy has been on an incredible run lately. Standing at 6'5" with the look of a rock star and the mindset of an assassin, Priest has proven time and time again that he belongs in the main event conversation. His combination of agility for a big man, devastating strikes, and that killer instinct makes him one of the most dangerous competitors on any roster. Priest has been on a path of destruction, taking out anyone who stands in his way. He's been vocal about wanting championship opportunities, about wanting respect, and about punishing anyone who disrespects him. The man is on a mission, and Solo Sikoa happened to be in his crosshairs. Solo Sikoa, the enforcer. Now, Solo Sikoa, the enforcer. The street champion of the island. The youngest member of the legendary Anoa'i family making his own legacy in WWE. Solo has carved out his place as one of the most intimidating forces in WWE. His no-nonsense approach, his brutal offense, and his family legacy make him a threat to anyone. He doesn't do a lot of talking, he lets his Samoan spikes and devastating super kicks do the talking for him. The rivalry between Priest and Solo has been building for weeks. It started with a backstage confrontation, escalated through several intense promos, and has been heading toward an inevitable collision. Both men want to prove they're the dominant force on SmackDown, and neither is willing to back down. The Wyatt Sicks, harbingers of chaos. And then we have the Wyatt Sicks. This group, where do we even start? Carrying on the legacy of Bray Wyatt while creating their own terrifying identity, the Wyatt Sicks operate by their own rules. They don't follow traditional logic. They appear when you least expect them. They target who they choose for reasons that often only become clear later. Led by their enigmatic leader, the Wyatt Sicks embrace the darkness, the psychological warfare, and the pure chaos that made the Wyatt name legendary in WWE. Their presence alone changes the atmosphere of any arena. When their messages start appearing, when the lights start flickering, you know something twisted is about to happen. But here's the million-dollar question: why would the Wyatt Sicks involve themselves in a match between Priest and Solo? What's their angle? What message are they trying to send? Keep those questions in mind as we break down what happened. The match between Damian Priest and Solo Sikoa was announced earlier in the week, and immediately, the WWE Universe knew this was going to be violent. Leading up to SmackDown, both men cut intense promos. Priest talked about making examples of anyone who stands in his way, about showing the entire locker room that he's the punishment they all deserve. Solo, in his typical fashion, kept it brief but impactful, essentially promising to put Priest down and move on to bigger things. The tension was thick. Social media was buzzing with predictions. Would Priest's versatility overcome Solo's raw power? Would Solo's family legacy and devastating offense be too much for the Archer of Infamy? When SmackDown went live, you could feel the electricity in the arena. The crowd was hot for this matchup. Both men have passionate fan bases, and this was shaping up to be a potential show stealer. The entrances set the tone perfectly. Priest came out with that focused intensity, eyes locked on the ring. Solo emerged with his signature menacing confidence, ready for war. The referee went over the rules, but you could tell both competitors were barely listening, they just wanted to get their hands on each other. The bell rang, and what followed was exactly what we expected: hard-hitting, physical, intense action. From the opening bell, this match was a battle. The early moments saw both men testing each other, trying to establish dominance. Priest used his height and reach advantage, landing sharp kicks and striking combinations. Solo, true to his style, absorbed the punishment and fired back with brutal headbutts and power moves that shook the ring. The psychology of this match was fantastic. Priest was trying to use his speed and versatility to wear Solo down, targeting the legs to take away his base. Meanwhile, Solo was looking for those big knockout shots: the super kick, the Samoan spike, anything that could end the match in one devastating moment. We saw some incredible near falls. Priest hit his signature South of Heaven chokeslam that had the crowd on their feet, but Solo kicked out at 2.5. The resilience was unreal. Solo responded with a thunderous spinning solo that nearly took Priest's head off, but the Archer of Infamy somehow got his shoulder up. The referee's hand was millimeters from the mat for the 3 count. As the match progressed, both men were showing the wear and tear. These are two big, powerful athletes throwing everything at each other, and you could see the toll it was taking. The crowd was completely invested, chanting for both competitors, creating that incredible atmosphere that only live wrestling can provide. Around the 12-minute mark, Solo was setting up for what looked like the finishing sequence. He was calling for the Samoan Spike, the move that's put away so many opponents. Priest was staggering, looking vulnerable for the first time in the match. And then, the lights went out. The arena went pitch black. The crowd's reaction was immediate, a mixture of excitement, confusion, and that nervous energy that comes when you know the Wyatt Sicks might be near. When the lights came back on maybe 5 seconds later, but it felt like an eternity, the scene in the ring had completely changed. When visibility returned, Solo Sikoa was down in the center of the ring, looking completely disoriented. Members of the Wyatt Sicks were scattered around ringside, their presence unmistakable with their disturbing masks and unsettling presence. The referee was just as confused as everyone else. She didn't see what happened during the blackout. The chaos and confusion were perfect for the sinister storytelling the Wyatt Sicks are known for. Damian Priest, showing the ring awareness of a veteran, didn't hesitate. He saw his opportunity and took it. He pulled Solo up and delivered his devastating finishing move, the Razor's Edge, into a devastating slam and hooked the leg. 1, 2, 3. The bell rang, and Damian Priest's hand was raised in victory. But the story was far from over. As Priest celebrated his win, he looked around at the Wyatt Sicks members surrounding the ring. The expression on his face was complicated, part satisfaction at the victory, part confusion about why this happened, and maybe even part concern about what this assistance means. The Wyatt Sicks didn't attack Priest. They didn't celebrate with him. They simply watched. That eerie, unsettling observation that makes them so psychologically terrifying. Their leader stood on the entrance ramp, head tilted, studying both Priest and the fallen Solo Sikoa like they were pieces on a chessboard. Solo, meanwhile, was recovering in the ring, clearly furious. You could see the rage building as he realized what had happened. The enforcer had been enforced upon, and you know that's not going to sit well with him or his family. The Wyatt Sicks message started appearing on the Titantron, cryptic symbols and words that only they fully understand. Something about the punishment fits the crime and darkness recognizes darkness. Classic Wyatt Sicks psychological warfare that leaves more questions than answers. As SmackDown went to commercial, the image was haunting: Priest standing tall but uncertain, Solo seething with anger, and the Wyatt Sicks vanishing into the shadows as mysteriously as they appeared. Okay, let's unpack what this all means, because there are layers to this story. Question 1: why did the Wyatt Sicks help Damian Priest? This is the big one. The Wyatt Sicks don't do random acts. Every move they make has purpose, even if that purpose isn't immediately clear. Theory 1: they see something in Priest, that darkness, that willingness to punish that aligns with their philosophy. Maybe they want to recruit him or align with him in some capacity. Theory 2: this wasn't actually about helping Priest at all. Maybe it was about sending a message to Solo Sikoa. Perhaps the Wyatt Sicks have issues with Solo or his family connections that we don't fully understand yet. Theory 3: pure chaos. The Wyatt Sicks might simply be disrupting the established order, creating uncertainty and fear throughout the roster. Question 2: what does this mean for Damian Priest? Priest got the win, but did he really want help from the Wyatt Sicks? This could be a double-edged sword. Yes, he won the match, but now he's potentially in debt to or on the radar of one of the most unpredictable groups in WWE. That's not necessarily a comfortable position. Does Priest embrace this connection or reject it? Does he seek answers or try to distance himself? His next moves will be crucial in determining how this story unfolds. How does Solo Sikoa respond? Solo is furious, and rightfully so. He was on the verge of victory, and outside interference cost him. You know he's going to demand answers. You know he's going to want retribution. And when a member of the Anoa'i family wants retribution, things get serious. Could this lead to a full-scale war between Solo's allies and the Wyatt Sicks? Could Solo target Priest even harder now, seeing him as complicit in what happened? This interference shifts the entire power dynamic on SmackDown. The Wyatt Sicks are actively involving themselves in main event storylines, which means nobody is safe. Champions, contenders, established stars, everyone has to be looking over their shoulder wondering if they're next on the Wyatt Sicks list. WWE has masterfully created a situation where multiple storylines can branch from this one moment. That's excellent long-term storytelling. The fallout from this is going to be incredible to watch. My predictions? Next week on SmackDown, we're going to get answers, or at least more questions. Priest will likely be forced to address what happened. Solo is definitely going to be looking for payback. And the Wyatt Sicks? They'll continue being the wild card that makes every show must-see television. I could see this leading to a multi-person match at the next premium live event, maybe Priest vs Solo in a rematch with special stipulations to prevent interference, or maybe even a tag match where alliances are forced and tested. Now it's your turn. Get in the comments right now and tell me, why do you think the Wyatt Sicks helped Damian Priest? What should Priest do next, embrace the darkness or reject it? How should Solo Sikoa get his revenge? If this breakdown got you hyped, smash that like button, subscribe to Suplex Rumble if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our coverage of the wildest moments in wrestling. Share this video with your wrestling friends because this story is just getting started, and we're going to be covering every twist and turn right here on this channel. SmackDown just got a whole lot more unpredictable, and I am here for it. Until next time, keep believing in the chaos, keep celebrating this incredible business, and stay ready for the next Suplex Rumble. The darkness has spoken, and wrestling will never be the same. Peace.